A girl wakes up in the middle of the night and goes to the bathroom. As she is about to get into bed, she sees a little boy sitting on her bed. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe if you haven't so that you won't miss any stories. Also, turn on notifications so that you get notified whenever a new story is posted. Startled, she asks who he is and where he came from. "I've been here for a week already," he said. "Mom and Dad have been so busy with work that they forgot all about me. You're my only hope now." Maybe she had just imagined the whole thing, she thought. But when she turned around, there was the boy, still sitting on her bed and still eating his apple. Went up at her and smiled. "Want some apple, sis?" he asked. Emma couldn't help but feel a chill down her spine. "Because you're not real," she replied. The boy's face crumpled and he started crying. Emma couldn't help but feel sorry for him. Maybe she could ask her parents to look into this. It seemed that the boy had run away from home because his parents were always too busy for him. Emma's parents were happy to be able to reunite the family. After all, it was better to be safe than sorry. Emma was stunned. How could this kid have been here for a whole week? Emma hesitated, but then nodded. The boy smiled and gave her a hug. "Thank you, sis," he whispered. "Listen," she said, trying to sound nice. "You need to leave now. I don't know what you want, but I can tell you now that it won't work." She suddenly felt a pang of sympathy for him. Maybe she could help him find his parents. But then she shook her head. "No, that was probably a bad idea. I'm going to get you out of here, even if I have to carry you myself." The boy stood up and slowly walked towards her. Emma took a step back, but then she hesitated. Was it really a good idea to mess with a kid who seemed to have come from another world? "I'm going to call the police if you don't." The boy stopped eating and looked at her for a moment. "No one will believe you," he said softly. "They'll think I'm just some crazy kid who's lost his mind." Emma felt a surge of anger. How come no one had noticed? She lived with her parents in a big house, so it would have been hard to miss a kid. She had just woken up from a deep sleep, so it took her a few seconds to realize that someone was sitting on her bed. At first, she thought it was her cat, but then she remembered that her cat had passed away 2 years ago. Emma rubbed her eyes and looked again. Sitting on her bed was a little boy. He couldn't have been older than 6 or 7. He had short brown hair and was wearing a white shirt and black pants. At first, they thought it was hilarious, but then they started to worry. Emma's parents were very protective of their daughter, and they wanted to make sure that she was safe. They decided to hire a private investigator to look into the matter. The boy simply replies that he is her brother and that he has been here for a week already. Still confused, the girl goes back to the bathroom and tries to shake off what she just saw. But when she returns to her room, the boy is still sitting on her bed, calmly eating an apple. The boy's face fell, and he nodded slowly. Emma watched as he walked back to her bed and sat down. He pulled out an apple from his pocket and started eating it. Emma couldn't take her eyes off him. Something about this kid was really unsettling. Who is this kid? What does he want? And how can she get rid of him? It was 2 a.m. when Emma woke up. Emma couldn't believe what she was seeing. She walked closer to the bed and asked, "Who are you?" The boy looked at her and replied, "I'm your brother." Confused, Emma asked, "What are you talking about?" "I don't have a brother." The boy shrugged and said, "I'm your little brother. Silly. Don't you remember me?" Emma shook her head. She really didn't know who this kid was. The boy stood up and walked over to her. "Look, I don't know who you are, but you need to leave now," she said. Emma went back to the bathroom and splashed water on her face. She tried to stay calm. There was no way she was going to let some random kid stay in her house. "It's not true," she shouted. "I know you're not real." As the boy approached her, Emma could see that he wasn't wearing any shoes. The boy was now standing right in front of her. "Why won't they believe me?" I asked softly. The boy wiped his tears and looked up at her. "Can you please ask them for me?" he asked. The next morning, Emma told her parents about the boy who had visited her in the middle of the night. The PI was able to find the boy's parents, who turned out to be Emma's parents' old friends. And as for Emma, well, she was just glad that she had finally gotten her bed back.